Hi there, welcome to the Tomb of Illumination. Welcome to any new subscribers. Everything here is about ancient philosophy, ancient knowledge about the spiritual ascension of man and its connection to the flat earth design. You won't understand anything until you understand the flat earth design, so check out my previous videos. Today's video is very important for people who want to ascend. That is, go through your spiritual rebirth, the entire meaning to life that's been ignored, hidden from the masses, mainly through this globe model BS. Something very important is, well, first you need to understand the zodiac symbol in connection to the flat earth. The four corners of the earth, it's a divine matter that's to do with the well, it's connected with the cornerstone the builders rejected for a starter, which is that those 3 months that you have not passed through during your what's the word, once you conceived, your ingestion, what's the word? You know what I mean. The 9 months you're in the womb, you're missing that 3 months. That's the corner of the zodiac that you are missing, and it's to do with salts and Santos Benassi will tell you more about that. But anyway, there's also, when they talk about the corners, like, let's draw a picture. So there's your zodiac. Oh, well, I can divide it all up. It's basically the zodiac symbol there, right? Well, we can talk about these as corners, 4 corners, but so you've got the main cardinal directions. Cardinal directions, okay? But up here on the 45-ish, is what we call the saints. These are the divine points, divine corners, the actual corners involving the spiritual tale of man. Because these, like up here, we're talking between Leo and Virgo. This is all about the Great Pyramid and the lioness, which direction they're pointing at and all this sort of stuff. It's to do with the solar eclipses. So this is Virgo, Virgin Mary. This is the whole Jesus story. Virgo, and where the moon is. So the moon at the solar eclipse is obviously in the Virgo at new moon, but then the birth is created at full moon when she's come back around the opposite. So the sun will still be in Virgo, the moon will be in Pisces in the Jesus story. That's the divine awakening story. But anyway, once man is awakened, goes through a spiritual rebirth, the ultimate one, the ultimate rebirth, not just waking up to an idea or a flat earth system or anything like that. It's a divine spiritual awakening, and you will know when it happens. So when it does happen, you must go back to that, be in that part of the world the following year in that season. I won't go on into all that, but anyway, what I've just recently had confirmed to me through this book here, because all the information is through all the ancient philosophical stories, myths and legends, right? And the what the ancient Egyptians have left us. Now what I'm now 100% positive on is the fact that if you do go through your where you are conceived in the world, if you leave that part of the world, you will never gain your spiritual enlightenment. Because all about the zodiac sign, where the celestial bodies are, over the flat plane of Earth, at your time of creation. That's your moon sign, at conception. Being born into the physical world is your sun sign. You've come into the light of the world. So, rebirth is about a realignment. It's to do with a realignment of things that were similar to your conception. But I can tell you straight off that the moon phase is in its opposite phase from your conception to your spiritual birth. But it is in the same moon sign. So, this is probably one of the reasons why immigration is a big thing. You see, the world's run by the Illuminati, the elite Freemasons, right? And they're pushing for all this immigration. Because the more you immigrate, the less chance there is of you waking up to the bullshit. The world is full of bullshit. Trust me. Everything you are told from your governments is total bullshit. Unless it's to do with a flood down the road and you've got problems, you know, that's obvious physical matter. And your science, your physics is all lies to cover up the actual truth. Science will not associate the zodiac with the earth. And that's basically what it's built on. Everything on earth, every living being is connected with the above. Their celestial alignments. Sun, moon, wandering stars. And then there's all these other moons and stars that we do not see, but are in on the whole creation story. So, like if you read the Bible, they go through many names because they're all representing a celestial body, or Plato, or even the Iliad, Homer's Iliad. There's lots of names for these different celestial bodies, and people just read it as a story down here in the physical world. But no, but they're all representing different celestial bodies involved in your spiritual enlightenment. You see that you got the Iliad, gives you the whole earthly system, which runs parallel to the man's brain, his system. But then you've got the Odyssey, which is about the person who has received it, the spiritual enlightenment. But no one sees all this stuff. They just see it as violent videos, movies. So I just need to tell you that if you wish to seek spiritual enlightenment in your lifetime, because we go through many lifetimes, reincarnation doesn't mean you come back the same creature. No, but your energy, your detail is recorded in your pineal gland. Like if you go take a pineal gland, there'll be a pineal gland in a cow, right? Well, inside that is its entire history. It may never come to light to a man, even when he's enlightened, but it's all in there in detail. So you go through many recycling systems till you wake up. And if you're moving around the earth, away from your conception, place of conception, you're never going to reach enlightenment. I'm 99% sure that is a fact. So, let's that out of the way. Now, some of you have been following me would have watched a video of mine how I explain the whole Earth recycling system. How we have the hydrogen, the human body is made up of 84% hydrogen, right? It's in the water. Everything is about water. Our entire creation is about water and resonance. It's all sound. Our whole realm involves sound. We are light creatures created from the sound in the water. So the recycling system of Earth involves the hydrogen molecule, which rises up to the tropical gap. Rises up to the tropical gap, and during the day is dragged through the Milky Way. The Milky Way loops from the Arctic centre over the tropics, where we see the sun at our tropic end, but the real sun's back at the other end, the unseen actual plasma. We just see an image over in the tropical zone. There's way more to that though. So that the hydrogen molecules rising up through the tropical zone, being drawn over to the Arctic centre, recycled via the sun, drop back down to the ground as dewdrops into fresh water called the Buford Gaia. Below the Buford Gaia, it gets sucked down through the earth. That's why there's a big vortex, like a sinkhole, sucks the water down through the subterranean channels through the earth. It goes straight around to the tropical region, and there's water moving around beneath the tropics. The moving water energizes it, builds up a high pressure in the molecule, which wants to be released and seek equilibrium. So it wants to seek a lower pressure. So the tropical gap is the lower pressure. So it gets drawn up through there. But anyway, cut the story short, it passes over back through the sun where it's purified, dropped. This is the recycling system. Well, I did that a couple of months ago. I bought this actually probably earlier than that, but I've just started reading it, and we had a 30-hour electrical shutdown. There's no power. So I started reading it, because I bought many of these books. I get them in a local warehouse, and blow me down. Everything I put in my video is all described here. Even the pretty picture. You don't take the picture literally, but in a sense you can. All these here are the subterranean aqueducts beneath the Arctic. And look, come out there, say the tropical zone, where it flows to the tropics. Look at the loop back over to the centre Arctic. Even the wording. Some to move between the horse along the trunk. The trunk, they call it, was in turn replenished by dewdrops falling from the tree. See, the Arctic centre is known as the tree of life, you see. That's where our vortex is. Our entire creation comes from that centre point, which is the hyperboloid, which is expressed out to create the toroidal field that we all dwell in. So we can't get to this area. It's inside the central vortex, the place of inaccessibility above the Arctic. But it's all here. If you want to get this book, read about it. You can associate a lot of the stuff to what I've done in my videos. It's reality. You have to understand the flat earth system though. If you understand the flat earth model, know the flat earth model, then everything makes sense. You can connect everything to the system. So, what do they call it? This is also associated with the Iliad, the Trojan War and that sort of thing. Because the Trojan War, I'll put this down there, is about the tropical gap, because that's where the dielectric is, and that's where the electromagnetic induction is created from the tropical gap, the dielectric gap, or the action up and down in the perimeter, the avoidance zone. This is how you get electromagnetic induction. But they're calling it, I think it's Midgard, they call that Midgard and Asgard or something over to the tropics. But they're showing you the loop of the Milky Way. I think they call the Milky Way Yggdrasil, the trunk of each creature upon the trunk of Yggdrasil. See, Drasil sounds like Israel. It's in the Bible, Israel, Isis, Ra, Elohim, Isra, or Isis, the end there, whatever. So that blew me away. There's the tree, toroidal field. They show you the trunk, but no one's ever, I'm the only person on this earth that's brought up the tropical gap and what's actually happening. And this is how you can prove that Earth is flat, once you understand that system and understand a magnetic field. Because a magnetic field doesn't go from north to direct to south. If everything went direct, it would find equilibrium and all life would cease to exist. So it's total bullshit, the Earth, the spinning ball. And it just goes to show how stupid these physicists are to even think like that. It's just, I can't figure it out. So that's it, guys. Understanding the zodiac in relation to the earth, spiritual enlightenment, the four corners. We're not just talking about these cardinal directions, we're talking about the actual corner. Four corners. Very significant, these points here. See, this is the southern hemisphere, involves the people in the southern hemisphere. This one involves the people in the northern hemisphere. This is about September, just before spring. This one, actually, no, I haven't thought about this too deeply in this video, but it's going like that. This is 17 days before the equinox. This occurs. So it's moving that way. It's nothing to do with that. So you've got these, but these are more highlighted, I've noticed, in cultures. So maybe this is the male, for the male, and this is the female, because this is prior to the solstice. This might have something to do with the lunar eclipses. And these are the solar eclipses. So they could have the same down here, maybe opposites. But there's a connection here. Apparently there's lunar eclipses involved with solar eclipses, which I haven't looked into yet. But this could be the lunar eclipses, which I think involves something to do with woman's enlightenment. But this is the male enlightenment, the solar eclipses, because the solar is male, the moon is the female, right? The moon is the electron wave, the sun is the positive proton. Realize the planets are just the focal points, the resting state within inside the highest energy point of a wave. The wave disperses out. Well, that point of divergence is the highest energy zone, which highlights the resting state, which creates like the photon we can see with our pupils. That's where all the resonance is, and now we're tuned to that point. That's why we see an image. Okay, I've stretched that video out enough. We'll leave it at that, shall we? Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up or likes, and share it if you can. People need to find the truth. Seek and you shall find.